on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
It's one thing to take batting practice with a major league team for the first time. It's another thing to be in the same dugout with one of the best home run hitters in franchise history. To step up to the plate your first major league start and deliver a 384-foot shot over the left field wall for your first major league hit, well, that's a whole different kind of special. It sounds strange to say, but just 2 regular season games left here at Citizens Bank Park, including tonight. The fans getting set to settle in for Game 2 between the Phillies and the Washington Nationals. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Chris Wheeler. A lot of folks today still talking about Darin Ruff's first major league home run. And they're also talking about the freeze that took place with his teammates in the dugout afterwards. In fact, I would have to imagine that around every major league ballpark today, if they haven't talked about it, they're certainly going to discuss it at some point.
Seen a lot of freezes. That was the best one ever. They did a great job with that, Tom. And then got us thinking, well, you and I talked about it on the air last night, how many Phillies have hit their first major league hit was a home run? Well, it's amazing. You don't have to go that far back to see some of them. There's Bobby Estalella. You're going to see these hit in ballparks that don't even exist anymore. His was up at Shea Stadium. Then Marlon Anderson over at Veterans Stadium. That was in September, late in the season. That was his first major league hit, and it was a home run. How about Chase Utley? He hits a grand slam home run for his first major league hit. Talk about memorable. That also over at Veterans Stadium. And then John Mayberry Jr., this was at New Yankee Stadium just a few years ago. That was a dramatic one, a blast to left center field for John Mayberry. And then last night, this one by Darin Ruff was pretty neat. He got this pitch from Detweiler. It's amazing the way he pulls his hands in and still hits the ball 400 feet to left center field. Just gives you an idea of what kind of power this guy has. We had heard so much about it during the season that he had at Reading, where he banged out 38 home runs, a lot of them coming late in the year, took them into postseason play, and along with the 38 home runs, you're dealing with a guy with 32 doubles on 104 runs batted in. Tremendous minor league season, and that's Double-A too.
Yeah, 40 home runs now combined between Double-A and now the majors, counting that playoff home run for Darin Ruff. And you know what getting your first major league hit earns you? Another chance to play against a left-hander. He's in the starting lineup tonight as the Phils get set for Game 2 against the Nationals. Kyle Kendrick on the mound for the Phillies. He'll be opposed by John Lannon. Remember, Lannon, he started his career 0-10 against the Phillies. Well, he's back up from the minor leagues, and he'll make his 5th start of the season. All right, technically the freeze lasted just under 5 minutes. And Carlos Ruiz said today they were thinking about carrying it over to the next inning. They didn't, though, as they celebrated. The lineups at first pitch when we return. Phillies Game 2 of this 3-game series between the Phillies and the Washington Nationals. The Nationals' magic number to clinch the National League East, it's still at 5. Darin Ruf, a day after hitting his first major league home run, will get a chance to make his second consecutive start out in left field. And obviously he was exhilarated after last night's game against the Nats. Let's take a look at the National starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off in right field, Jason Worth. Bryce Harper, the center fielder, bats second. Ryan Zimmerman hits third, followed by Adam LaRoche and Michael Morse. Ian Desmond, the shortstop, bats sixth. Steve Lombardozzi, the second baseman, seventh. Kurt Suzuki will bat eighth. And on the mound of pitching is John Lannon. Hasn't faced the Phillies since last year because he's been in the minor leagues most of this season. In fact, he's the guy that has replaced Steven Strasburg in the Nationals' rotation. And so far, he's off to a 3-0 start. Let's take a look at the National League East standings. Now, things have tightened up between the Nationals and the Atlanta Braves. The Braves, who won last night to qualify for the postseason, are now just 4 games back. And they know the Phillies and the Nationals have 5 games left against each other. So they are still thinking about the National League East, even though it's an outside shot.
Well, Atlanta knows what the Phillies did to them last year, too. They're going to play hard, and that Charlie will manage that way to try and win the games. Charlie Manuel is one of those guys that just, well, he just has great respect for the game and tries to do what he can do within reason.
Well, Kyle Kendrick will take the mound for the Phillies tonight. Kyle has been one of the better right-handed pitchers in the National League since the All-Star break. Overall, he's 10-11, an earned run average of 3.89, 145 hits and 150 innings pitched. Now, Wheels, that's the number that's dipped. The hits per innings pitched, he's now less hits compared to innings pitched.
Yeah, and also, Tom, that left-handed hitter's 245. That used to be 345, somewhere in that area. That's about 100 points difference. And the reason is the changeup cutter mix that he's gone to. The breakdown on them since August 14th is unbelievable, how he has changed as a pitcher using those 2 pitches and how successful he's been. The Washington Nationals will get a look at him tonight and see what they can do. They have some really good left-handed hitters, and Kyle has done a much better job on that.
Well, earlier today, Roy Halladay threw the bullpen session that we talked about yesterday. In fact, there's Mick Billmeyer, Rod Nichols. They're both there. So is Rich Doobie, who's standing behind Roy Halladay as he throws that bullpen session. And apparently, Rich Doobie said he came out looking like a totally different pitcher than the Phillies saw this past Saturday. And Murph, the news is good about Doc making his final start of 2012.
Yeah, it certainly is. Rich Doobie telling us today that, Doc wanted to make the final start on Saturday, and after watching him in the bullpen today, the Phillies agree that he is ready to go. He said, as you mentioned, looked like a totally different guy in the bullpen session, said the spasms that he was feeling in his shoulder have subsided, and that he'll be ready to go. And, the big question is, well, why not just shut down a guy like Roy Halladay at this point of the season? But Rich Doobie's answer was simple. He says Roy Halladay is what he called a super accountable kind of guy, and he believes that he's got to hold up his end of the bargain, and that is going out and making a start whenever he can. He feels like he can go out there and do that on Saturday, and the Phillies are going to allow him to do it.
Well, it's a pride thing for a guy that has so much pride and worked so hard at his craft. So we'll see. He'll start Saturday right now unless there's a setback against the Miami Marlins.
And how good would it make everybody feel, Roy Halladay, the organization, the fans, if he goes out and has a good start and you can put it to bed for the winter saying, okay, can't wait to see him next year.
Well, I'll tell you what, as Jason Worth takes that pitch low, Rich Doobie did all to start on Saturday. If Doc wants to work out of the bullpen in Washington, he's not going to fight him from working out of the bullpen in Washington.
There you go.
Want to know the count to Jason Worth, who leads off the ball game. And Worth takes low. Worth overall a 301 hitter with 5 home runs and 29 runs batted in. And it's 3 balls and no strikes.
Worth will do that. He'll take a lot of pitches, and he has a very high on base percentage, and that's why they're leading him off right now. And have a guy like Harper behind him is good because he can pull the ball in the hole.
There's the strike of the knees. It's 3-1. Kyle Kendrick is 6-2 with an ERA of 2.17 in his last starts. In fact, he's his 8 wins since the All-Star break are tied for 4th in the National League. And he just walked Jason Worth to lead off the ballgame. Something he has not done that often in the second half is walk a lot of batters. During the 2012 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 to each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs.
Well, Jason Worth did a really good job of making him bring the sinker up, and he never did. Those pitches were just knee high or just a little bit below.
That'll bring Bryce Harper to the plate. Harper 2 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI in last night's ball game. His average up to 260 with 19 home runs and 53 runs batted in. Fly ball left center field. That ball's well hit. Mayberry's on the run, and that one is gone. Bryce Harper starts the game with a 2-run home run, and the Nationals take the early lead.
Boy, that was strong. Like a changeup too. It looks just like it kind of hung up over the plate a little bit, trying to get ahead, maybe get him to roll it over into a double play. Instead of that, Harper really aggressive on this pitch. Charts on him have been saying he's been hitting off-speed stuff better than hard stuff, and he certainly crushed that fastball the other way. That's big-time power.
Well, those 20 home runs leave him 4 behind Tony Conigliaro for the most by a teenager. And we talked about the Rookie of the Year award that Todd Frazier of the Reds, Willeen Rosario of the Rockies, and Bryce Harper are going to be in a pretty heated battle for that Rookie of the Year award. And the way Harper's finishing, he's opening up more eyes, I think, around Major League Baseball. You asked me a month ago, I would have said that it was going to be Frazier. If you asked me 3 weeks ago, the same thing. It may not be Todd Frazier.
Well, and also some of it could depend on how tough it is for these guys to get it done at the end and how much he contributes. Like right there, give him a 2-run home run the first inning before anybody's out in a big game for them.
One away, Adam LaRoche is the batter. LaRoche 32 home runs, 98 runs batted in. Not very good against Kendrick, 3 for 17 with a double. And the Phillies will put 3 infielders on the right side of the diamond. They were in the process of moving those infielders when Kendrick was ready to pitch. And the first pitch outside, it's 1-0. There's a cutter for a strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. LaRoche last night was 1 for 4. He struck out twice. In fact, the Nationals hitters struck out 12 times in yesterday's game.
Third most in the league. They will strike out, and they will do what Bryce Harper just did with the best of them. They will hit homers. And they play in that big park in Washington, and they have made it play pretty small this year.
1-2 the count to LaRoche. Swing and a miss. He gets it with the changeup. Second out of the inning. First strikeout for Kendrick. They were 2 away. Michael Morse is coming up.
Well, it's time now for a Nissan Keys to tonight's game. A little bit cloudy, some showers early. Well, Phillies will try to keep the heat on the Nationals and make them earn it. And this is the first time this year that they will see John Lannon, but certainly a guy they're very familiar with over the years. They had a lot of success against, especially early on.
Michael Morse, who's a .288 hitter, will stand in. He's the 5-hole batter, and he lines that one to left center field. Ruff is there, and the sinking liner is grabbed out of the air for the final out. And I don't even think he thought it was the final out, but he's able to end the inning, whether he knew it or not. A 2-run home run by Bryce Harper has given the Nationals the early lead as we go to the bottom of the first here in Philadelphia. Bottom of the first, the Phillies down 2-0.
How about that look?
Let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off at shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. John Mayberry bats second. Chase Utley hits third, followed by Ryan Howard and Carlos Ruiz. Dominic Brown is in right field. He'll bat sixth. In the bottom third of Ruff, Franzen, and Kendrick. And they'll face Nationals left-hander John Lannon, who will turn 28 years old tomorrow. Lannon spent most of this year down in the minor leagues. He's back in the Nationals rotation. 3-0 in the big leagues with a 4.43 earned run average. He wanted out. They didn't get him out. And he wound up lingering the whole year for Washington.
Yeah, he's a little bit like the guy last night, Detweiler. He throws almost all fastballs. Change up number 2 pitch and then curve and cutter a little bit.
So he's ready to go. And I mentioned he started his career 0-10 against the Phillies, but he's 2-12 overall. And the first pitch taken down and away. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
And the bizarre distinction of being ejected in his first major league game when after he had hit Chase Utley, he hit Ryan Howard. Ryan Howard had hit a home run off him, and a little overreaction probably that afternoon. He was tossed out of that game.
2-0 the count to Rollins, and he takes a strike. 2-1.
With Lannon for a while, Tom, it didn't matter whether he pitched well, pitched bad. He just lost to the Phillies.
He's 2-2 in his last 4 starts against them. Rollins grounds it to shortstop. Ian Desmond throws him out. 1-away.
He's a big ground ball guy. He throws a lot of sinkers away. And when he's on, he'll be grounding out a lot. When he gets the ball up, and left-handed hitters have never had. Phillies, Utley and Howard have hit him, even though he's a left-handed pitcher. And I think that's because his best pitch, sinker, changeup, they're both balls that are coming towards left-handed hitters.
Well, if you exclude the Phillies from his overall docket, he would not be a 10-game under 500 pitcher. He'd be a 500 pitcher.
Right. We used to say that about him all the time. If the Phillies weren't around, his numbers would look a lot better.
John Mayberry will stand in. Mayberry was 0 for 3 in last night's ball game. He does have 5 hits against Lannon in his career.
Lannon works really fast too. He's on the rubber. He gets the ball and he throws it, and you almost have to step out a little bit and slow him up.
0-1 the count to Mayberry, and Mayberry holds, but it's called a strike by Joe West. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Jerome King of Monroeville, New Jersey. Phillies hit a home run in tonight's ball game, and Jerome will win $100.
See, Mayberry steps out there, and Lannon was ready to go.
Up and in, 1-2. In the dirt now, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mayberry. Phillies lead the season series against the Nationals. And in fact, with a win tonight, they will increase their lead over Washington. And they haven't had a whole lot of success against everybody in the division this year. But for some reason, Washington, they've had success against them. Another one to the left side. This one a chopper to Desmond. It threw low, but Mayberry's retired. 2 outs.
Well, Lannon's one of those guys that's easier said than done. If you're a right-handed hitter, you have to think the other way with him. He'll play pepper with Zimmerman and Desmond, or with Ian Desmond all night. Desmond Howard.
I was going to say you're going to play pepper with Desmond Howard. Is he still on your mind, Wheels?
I caught that in time. He could have probably played shortstop. Good an athlete as that guy
could have
was.
at least played center field and tracked it down.
Yeah.
Well, now Utley's the hitter. You see by the bottom number, Utley's had a very good month of September. He still is locked in at 199 career home runs. And it's 0-1 to him. Utley 1 for 3 yesterday with a walk and a run scored. 12 for 35 lifetime against Lannon.
Yeah, with a broken hand.
Ball's hooked toward the right side, and it's going to be an easy first inning for Lannon. Just 11 pitches, and the Phillies go down in order. So 1, 2, 3 here in the first. On to the second. Nationals have the early lead here in Philadelphia. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to take advantage of new low pricing and see every remaining Phillies out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Phillies.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. I think those folks just saw themselves on television. Well, welcome. As we go to the top of the second, Phillies down 2-0. Kyle Kendrick allowed a first-inning 2-run home run. But he'll face Ian Desmond, Steve Lombardozzi, and Kurt Suzuki. Desmond was 0 for 4 last night with a strikeout. Desmond and Ryan Zimmerman and now Bryce Harper. They probably have the best numbers against Kendrick. Some of the others do not have very good numbers, including Jason Worth, who had been 0 for 10 coming into this ballgame. And that was against the old Kyle Kendrick.
Worth did a good job just leading off the game with 5-pitch walk, and then Harper hit the first pitch out for a 2-run homer, and just like that, 2-0.
Desmond, who just turned 27 years old, credits his manager Davey Johnson for kind of opening up his mind and letting the confidence in. And that's one of the reasons why he feels he's had such a good year. And it has been a breakout year. 24 home runs and 71 runs batted in.
You saw the talent right away. Phillies had some games with him. He was struggling a little bit, and then he'd hit a 400-foot home run. You go, whoa, did that get out in a hurry?
Well, speaking of getting out in a hurry, that one's out into the alleyway in a hurry, and it's out of the ballpark.
Like that.
Ian Desmond with his 25th home run. And it's now 3-0 Washington here in the second.
Ooh, that's what I was talking about. I remember one night off Lee hit 2, and they were like that. They were bullets. The left center field that got out in a hurry. He went, this guy's got some potential to hit balls out of the ballpark. Look at this thing jump. Right on the barrel and a line drive. That was a slider, it looked like, or a cutter. And it had some tilt to it going down, but it didn't go down in time.
So the second home run of the night for the Nationals. Now Lombardozzi's up. He did not play in last night's game. Fouls the first pitch away. It's 0-1. Lombardozzi, a switch hitter, batting .276. He has gotten 373 ABs this year. Filling in at third for Ryan Zimmerman when he was on the disabled list, filling in the outfield at times. Hits that one sharply to Utley, who bobbles it for a moment. He's going to have to hurry, and he's not going to get him. That'll be the 7th error of the year for Chase. Well, this game is not starting out as crisp and cleanly as the Phillies would like.
No, the Nationals are playing their game with the home run balls. That ball just ate Chase Utley up. See, it took a little bit of a skid at the end, hit right off the heel of the glove, and then it kicks too far away from to throw Lombardozzi out, who's a plus runner.
Kurt Suzuki had 3 hits in last night's game. He was 3 for 4 with a run scored. Gave the Nationals an early lead, which they have again here. Last night it was just 1-0. Tonight it's 3-0. And a fastball for a strike. It's 0-1. Lombardozzi has stolen 5 bases this year. He's been caught 3 times. That'll help Kendrick if he gets that pitch from Joe West. Some of those close ones he wasn't getting in the first inning, and they were low. But now he's ahead 0-2.
Yeah, he's not a guy who can pitch up in the zone. He'll get hurt as he has here early in this game.
Just off the outer edge, 1-2 the count.
Joe's a very good ball and strike umpire.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, we check in down in Atlanta, where Martin Prado has given the Braves a 1-0 lead over the Marlins. Josh Johnson is pitching for Miami. Paul Maholm is on the mound for the Braves. Braves qualified last night for the postseason on a walk-off home run from Freddie Freeman. We're just reading the quotes after the game. They were celebrating, but they also said they had to refocus because they, as he said, they still feel like they have a chance for the division.
Sure.
In the air to left field. That one is hit a ton. And that's the third home run of the night for the Nationals. And we're only in the second inning. 5-0 Washington.
Well, these guys are doing what they do best, and that's hit homers.
This guy doesn't hit a whole lot of home runs either.
No, and there was no doubt about that one. Hit one in the American League. He's at 4 or 5 now since he's come over here. Oh boy, that was a sinker that you see how it was up in the zone. It came running right back into the middle of the zone, right on the barrel. Talk about barreling one. Look at that. That thing was right there.
Aladdin hits one softly toward the middle. There are 2 outs. Well, 1 out, excuse me. I keep thinking that Utley made that play. 1 away here in the second. And that'll bring the top of the order, Jason Worth, up.
Well, that has to really loosen them up. Just to be able to come out, and the Phillies used to do this when they were on their way to winning things. You know, they'd have a tough game, and then all of a sudden they come out and just bam, they would pulverize somebody and get off to a great start. And that's what Washington's done here. A long way to go in this game, but that's intimidating when a team comes out and hits 3 home runs in 2 innings.
Yeah, long way to go against a pitcher that, even though he's won 2 of his last 4 games against the Phillies, he still can give up some runs.
Oh, absolutely, and he's the kind of guy that you have to get up, make him bring the ball up. You're getting in trouble. There's their GM, like Rizzo, all by himself down there. Our last trip in here, he and Davey evidently had some words after that game. Davey Johnson. Phillies had swept them in that weekend series, and that'll happen in the course of a year, long year.
Now the talk coming out of the clubhouse is that Rizzo and Davey Johnson have talked about Davey returning for 2013.
Yeah.
Maybe you can have your buddies come down and sit next to him, Mills. He looks like he has some open seats.
Got some great seats down there. He'd probably love those 2 guys down there next to him.
2-1 the count to Worth. Foul ball off to the right, and it's 2-2.
Not a good sign when Worth's batting for the second time, and that it's the second inning and he's up again.
The other sign that things aren't going well is that the Phillies have bullpen action here in the second.
Yeah, B.J. Rosenberg up. Well, Kendrick has pitched very, very well, and when he pitches well, he's down. Tonight he's up with his pitches, and these guys are going to smoke you right there. That looked like a high cutter, and they will do that. They will hit the ball out of the ballpark.
So Worth is aboard for the second straight inning. Rich Dubie's taking a walk out to the mound. This is to talk to Kendrick, but it's also to allow B.J. Rosenberg some time to get ready to come in. Thursday night, Donovan McNabb will be live in studio to give his take on the Eagles' loss to Kevin Kolb and the Cardinals, and the Eagles' upcoming matchup with the Giants. Watch the best talk of Philly sports on Deli News Live. That's tomorrow at 5, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Donovan will join Comcast Sportsnet on a weekly basis during the football season. The conversation concludes on the mound.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot Rich Dubie can say right now. And as you said, as much as anything, it's a stall to get Rosenberg ready if Kyle continues to struggle like this.
You know, the first few fastballs that Kyle threw were at 88 miles an hour, but he's not going to be much more than that.
Yeah, 90.
Harper homered his last time up, and he lines one foul, and it's 0-1. Harper now with 20 home runs and 55 runs batted in.
They were patient with Worth to start the game. Since then, it has been Rip City. They are really aggressive.
To the right side, Howard has it to second for one, back to first, not in time. So they get Worth, and there are 2 outs. Pretty hard to double up Bryce Harper coming from the left side on a 3-6-1 double play attempt. He runs pretty well.
Yeah, he sure does. Hard to believe he was a catcher at one time.
I guess you can see why they moved him out from behind the plate.
I beat him up back there.
Ryan Zimmerman, his first time up, grounded out to shortstop. 2 outs here in the second. First pitch inside, 1-0. This is how good Kendrick's been. I wondered if he had given up 3 home runs in a game this year. He hasn't. In fact, the last time was July of 2010 against the Cardinals. Runner goes. Pitch is taken outside. Throw to second, not in time. 17 stolen bases for Harper.
It's exciting. It must be for Harper to think about being in postseason play at his age. Guys spend their whole career not being able to do that, and he's going to be coming into the league at 19 and get into postseason play. Stole that easily. Stole that on Kyle.
Kyle cut a quick pitch that one, and it went out quicker than it came to the plate, but it's a foul ball.
Whoa.
What is that called, Wheels?
That's an ooh-ah ball.
Sure is.
Because people start going, ooh, and then, especially if it's your guy hit it.
Two and one the count to Zimmerman. Ball's hit on one hop to Utley, who has it in shallow right. The inning comes to a close. 3 runs score, 2 earned, 1 unearned. Nationals leave 1. On to the bottom of the second we go. It's 5-0 in favor of the Nats. with Fan Appreciation Night. Now, Fan Appreciation Night is not sad. It's just the fact that it's the last home game of the 2012 regular season. Gio Gonzalez against Tyler Cloyd. Order your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Oh, that little lady is enjoying a night at the ballpark with her dad. Hope she likes comebacks.
Yeah, I'll take one of those.
Ryan Howard will lead it off here in the bottom of the second against John Lannon. Throws a breaking pitch inside, 1-0.
Got to calm down the noise right now from the Nationals and get some going here from the Phillies.
Howard with 14 home runs and
Uh-oh.
Not happy about that. He tosses the bat aside. He's been hit before by Lannon.
They got him ejected. That was a long time ago, too. That was back on July 26, 2007. He hit Ryan Howard. Oh, that's on the elbow. And then he was thrown out of the ball game. But he had hit Utley earlier, and Utley wound up with a broken hand in that game.
Carlos Ruiz takes outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Ruiz, 327 this year.
And what Lannett's trying to do now, you see his career numbers off. He's trying to throw a ground ball. He throws a lot of ground balls, and that's when he's successful.
When he gets a ground ball, that could be 2. Desmond takes the throw, and LaRoche is off the bat. 1-6 on the putout at second.
Just careless by Desmond. That's an easy double play ball, and he just makes a strange throw to first base. Didn't put a whole lot on it, and pulled a really good first baseman off the bag where there should be 2 outs and nobody on. Right there. Ryan Howard got down a little bit late, and he kind of looped it over him, but still, that's just a nonchalant play right there, and those kind of things in the playoffs in close games can hurt you.
Well, he's trying to tell people that it was the throw by Lannon that threw him off, but
no, that was his fault.
Dominic Brown takes low and away. 1 ball and no strikes.
Because you had a slow runner going down there. He had plenty of time to adjust.
Yep, I agree with that. Brown 241 with 5 home runs, 23 runs batted in. Dominic's been picking up some RBIs lately. Takes low, 2-0. Plate, a foul ball, 2-1. Fly ball, left field. Morse on the run. Way up there, so there's plenty of time to come under it. And there are 2 outs. And that'll bring Darin Ruf to the plate. And he's part of our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
Yeah, here's the home run last night. Never get tired of watching that and that freeze afterwards. Speaking of cold hard blast, they really put a freeze on him after that homer.
Brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
You know, we've been mentioning a lot of the Phillies whose first major league hit were homers.
Right.
We haven't really. We mentioned it last night, Tom. You did bring his name up, but he hasn't gotten quite the attention that Ruff has gotten to some of the other guys, and that would be Larry Christensen.
Oh.
But
you think we should give Larry a little more love?
Well, we were trying to find the footage of that, but we don't have any black and white.
Want to know the count to Ruff. 2-0. Well, the thing about LC is if you go back, there are pitchers on that list. Mm-hmm. But he was a pretty good hitting pitcher.
Very good hitting pitcher. Hit 2 home runs in a game off Mickey Lolich. Lolich quit right after that. Said he'd had it after he saw that.
Was he with the Mets at the time?
Yes, he was.
That ball's hit well to right field. Worth going back at the track, and he has room, and he puts it away for the final out. That's a pretty good opposite field power by Darin Ruf. Phillies leave one here in the second. And we go on to the third. The Nationals up by 5. trivia question. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information. And Wheels, please submit your answer on the subject line. Name the last Phillies pitcher to hit a home run for his first major league hits. The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning. I'll give you a hint, Wheels. It wasn't Larry Christensen.
It wasn't LC, no.
But see there, we mentioned his home run twice now.
Yeah.
Oh, and if we had footage of it.
What year did you say it was? 75?
1975.
That means he went through a couple years early in his career without a hit, which is hard to believe because he could really hit.
He could hit.
Had to be a reason, and he'll give it to us.
Adam Roach will lead it off. It's 5-0 Washington. It'll be LaRoche, Morse, and Desmond. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Did he text you back, Wheels?
Yeah. Something about the black and white. Can't repeat it.
I would hope it was in color because then we could have seen those maroon uniforms.
Right.
Because I've seen him wear that jersey from time to time. 0-2 the count. LaRoche struck out his only time up. The only strikeout for Kendrick. He just needs to settle in here. It's just 5-0, or I should say it's just the third, even though the Phillies are down 5-0.
Yeah, well, he's got to stop this, obviously, because the Nationals have a really good bullpen, especially as the game gets late. And if you're too far behind them, they have a good chance to beat you. It's one of the reasons why they're going to move on. You go over postseason teams in the National League especially, and rarely are you going to find one that does not have a good bullpen, especially late. And what will be the #1 reason when you look back on this season, in my opinion, about why the Phillies failed? Their lack of being able to put games away. Especially early in the year when they dug a huge hole for themselves. You know, you look back on the injuries and all the other things, sure, that all contributed to it, but that had a domino effect throughout the season of not being able to win games that were winnable.
2 balls, 2 strikes the count to LaRoche. Outside 3-2. All 4 and a leadoff walk.
It's a struggle tonight. Kyle just does not have location on his pitches, and as a result, he's either missing or he's up, and he's getting hurt.
That'll bring Michael Morse to the plate. He lined out to left his only time up. He's 0 for 1. Morse has been playing with a sore left wrist. And the Nationals say he's just going to have to keep on playing with it. He's gotten some shots.
Boy, that's a big swing, too, to have a sore wrist. But he doesn't want to check swing too often because that one's really hurt. What a strange hitting style he has that works for him. Look at the way he holds his hands.
Inside 1-1.
High out over the plate. He used to really be able to pitch to this guy. Not so much anymore. Either on the back line or a little out of it.
Carlos looking at his back foot.
Yeah, it's close.
Although most times you can't see the back line anymore. Inside, it's 2-1.
Pitching behind everybody, too. It's just a tough way to work. Some nights guys struggle and they can get out of it. Other nights they struggle and they just can't. There's that back line, or what's left of it. Changeup is not near the plate, not ahead. They're not swinging at it and not getting called strikes on it.
fouled it away, and it's now full 3-2.
The way they play this, you wouldn't think they would run here with a guy that strikes out as much as Morse, and LaRoche is very slow at first base. But then again, Kendrick has been getting hit tonight, so they may go.
Yeah, LaRoche was taking a long look over at Bo Porter. He doesn't go. The pitch is hit toward third. Diving, stopped by Franzen. He knocked it down, and he has no play. He saved an extra base hit. But the Nationals have runners on first and second here in the third.
Yeah, they don't want to go to the bullpen real early, but they're getting close. As Tom said, he saves an extra base hitter. Does Kevin Franzen on a nice play. Moore smokes this ball, and it's going to be down the line for a double, and he knocks it down. Keeps it near his body, but really can't pop up in time to throw him out. No, it looks like they sent Ruiz out to stall.
Rosenberg, who was warming up in the last inning, is up again.
This could be it.
Well, here comes Charlie Manuel. He just tossed his gum aside. He doesn't want to make a change here in the third, but his team is already down 5-0, so he's going to have to lift Kyle Kendrick, who's been so good since the All-Star break. So B.J. Rosenberg is going to commit to the ball game here tonight with nobody out in the top of the third. The Phillies down 5-0. And this is tough for Kendrick to swallow because, as we said, he's been one of the better pitchers in the National League since the All-Star break. So Rosenberg's coming in. An early call to the bullpen, an AT&T call to the bullpen here in Philadelphia. Phillies trail it by 5, and the Nationals are threatening again. "5-0 Washington as Ian Desmond will bat against B.J. Rosenberg. So an early call to the bullpen for the Phillies. Rosenberg 1-2, an ERA of 8. First pitch is over for a strike. It's 0-1. Desmond homered his last time up.
Rosenberg pitched 2 innings in the game on Saturday against Atlanta.
High chopper to third. This could be 2. There's 1, and there's 2. Oh, that'll help.
Yeah, what a tailor-made hop, too, for Kevin Franzen. That's an infielder's dream to get a ball like that. Watch this thing take one big hop right into his glove. Gives Chase Utley a good feed. Uses the bag for protection. Double play.
Lombardozzi reached on an error by Utley his first time up. First pitch inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Off the end of the bat, and that'll be caught into the air by Rollins. So the inning comes to a close. Rosenberg does a nice job to help out the Phils' cause. We go to the bottom of the third. It's 5-0 in favor of the Nationals. More IIHS safety picks than any other brand. Go further. Visit your Quality Plus Ford store today. Buy WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. And buy Mazda. We believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. Wheels to be young enough to bounce on a knee.
I don't even know where to go with that.
We go to the bottom of the third. Kevin Franzen will lead it off. It'll be Franzen, Rosenberg, and then Rollins. Franzen this year, .327 with 2 home runs and 13 runs batted in. Takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes. He's still getting stalked by Larry Christensen.
Yeah, you know, he went 0 for. What did Carl tell us? He went 0 for
14.
0 for his first 14 major league at bats before hitting the home run, and he did really well in those ABs. He struck out in 13 of them.
That ball's hit inside the third base bag down the left field line. Franzen on his way to second, and he'll get there easily with a leadoff double. Now we'll see if B.J. Rosenberg can get him over to third.
Well, just get on the board. You know, B.J. came in, did a terrific job of getting the game a little bit under control because it just was not Kyle Kendrick's night, obviously. And now see him chip away at the Nationals a little bit and get the game closer. Here's Kevin Franzen with an extra base hit. Hits it hard past Zimmerman down the third base line for the stand-up double. Rosenberg can swing the bat a little bit too. But, you know, you're right. They may just want him to try and bunt here. And then again, they were down 5-0. They may let him swing away. See, he can't hit into a double play. That's what you worry about from the pitcher.
Well, he squares. He bunts it in front of the plate. The throw goes to third, and it goes into left field. Frandsen on his way home, and the Phillies will be on the board. It's a 5-1 game.
That's a foolish play by a veteran catcher, too. And he knows it. Nobody knows that more than Suzuki. Even if he gets him, yeah, that looks good. But you have a 5-run lead right now. You don't do stuff like that. Davey Johnson, the veteran baseball manager, he's not going to show a whole lot of emotion. But that's something to say, what are you thinking here? It's not even a force play. It's going to be a tag play. Now, he has a heck of a shot at Frandsen if he makes a good throw, but he doesn't. Throw him out at first base. You let him go to third. You play the infield back, and you take your chances. You don't let something like that happen and turn the lineup over.
Saki 2, no RBI. Rollins lines one to center. Harper's there. He hit it right on the nose, and it's one away.
Right on the nose.
Rollins now 0 for his last 18. It swings like that. But if you were ever discouraged about an 0 for 18 slump, swings like that would make you feel pretty good.
Hey,
even though you made it out.
Hey, can't aim him.
John Mayberry grounded out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. And he hits that one over the head of Desmond into left center field. Well, as aggressive as the Nationals were against Kendrick, that's how aggressive the Phillies have become against Lannon.
Well, that's where you hope that you can make them pay a little bit now for that mistake by the veteran catcher Suzuki, who's a good player. Because the other thing about making that play, not only is it 5-0, you're at the bottom of the order where you don't want to have it turned over by making a mistake and giving the top of the order more outs.
They grounded out his first time up.
Two guys coming up now that hurt Lannon, too. Both left-handed hitters. Chase swung at the first pitch his last time up, which he almost never does in the first inning. Later as the game goes along, he'll do that.
Rosenberg on second. Mayberry on first. Side, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Giving him a big alley in right center field, playing him the other way with Harper towards left center. You know, that space in right center field for Chase Utley. Figure Lannon, I don't know if he'll stay away from him, pitch him away, play him away, although he comes inside on left-handed hitters with that sinker. Doesn't do that very often. And especially there, throws a breaking ball. He just throws so many fastballs. Utley was in hit a fastball mode right there.
Back toward the middle, base hit it to center field. Rosenberg will be held at third, and the bases will be loaded for the Phillies as Ryan Howard's coming up.
Boy, it looked like they're going to get a big break there because that ball was hammered, then it hit the mound and took that big hop. And you can get double plays on those a lot of times, especially with the shortstop playing up the middle. But it still was hit so hard it got by Desmond.
See how they line up the infield with Ryan Howard, who has 12 grand slams in his career.
Yeah, right now you hit number 13, it's a tie game just like that. And that's why that play was so big what they did.
Base hit should score 2.
Oh yeah.
Howard has been an RBI machine in September. 22 runs batted in 22 games. Desmond still on the shortstop side, but not by much. Harper is way over in the left center field alley.
Here's Ryan Howard last time up, got hit on the elbow by Lana, who does pitch inside the left-handed hitters, although he started him away there. Yeah, they're playing him way over in left center field. Oh. Like a hanging breaking ball there. Oh, boy. You see the defense. So he's going breaking ball to him.
Another one. And a foul ball up the first base line.
By 4 runs, even that ball gets away from Suzuki. It has to be a no-brainer before they ever let Rosenberg run.
White Sox lost earlier today, and the Tigers, if they win tonight, will be a game up in the Central. Well, they trail Kansas City 4-1. Swing at this. So the White Sox lost last night.
Well, he got a steady diet of breaking balls. That's it.
2 outs, bases loaded, and Carlos Ruiz is coming up.
Slider to finish him off. A lot of sliders early in the count.
Phillies have scored 1. They have the bases loaded now with 2 outs. Know the count. One ball, no strikes the count. Rosenberg at third, Mayberry at second, Utley at first. Outside, 2-0.
Let's see Carlos Ruiz here cut the plate in half.
I asked Carlos today, I said, what are you happiest about with all these career highs that you've picked up? Home runs, average, doubles. He said RBIs. He said home runs are nice, they're great, but RBIs. It's that one back toward the middle, knocked down by Lannon. And he still has time, and the Phillies settle for 1 here in the third. 1 run, they leave 3. There was an error by the Nationals. Phillies are on the board as we go to the 4th. It's a 5-1 game here in Philadelphia. Just go to WBMasonAtHome.com to find branded products you want at low prices you'll love. Who but WB Mason at home? Well, the Phillies down 5-1. They had an opportunity to add to the 1 run they scored in the bottom of the third. It just so happens that John Lennon was able to work his way out of it. The key pitch was probably the second breaking pitch to Ryan Howard that he took for a strike.
Yeah, those have been the situations all year long where just not able to capitalize once they get a pitcher in trouble. That's the time to be able to at least hit something hard. He made a good pitch, give him credit. Little slide piece going down and away, striking out Howard, and then Ruiz comes up, hits the ball, a good pitch though, and right up the middle. So there you go, 5-1 score.
All right, so Kurt Suzuki leads it off here in the fourth. B.J. Rosenberg delivers a strike. And for Rosenberg, it's to just do what he did in the third to get those 3 outs, and now, kind of give the Phils a little bit of respite for the next few innings.
Yeah, it needs to hold them right where they are. Hopefully they'll be able to come back right now. Washington swinging the bats, hitting the ball out of the ballpark.
Well, Suzuki certainly hit one out of the ballpark his last time.
Well, they're showing you right now why they are in first place, and they've been doing that all year long. 180 home runs, I believe, up to this point.
Ball's hit to center field, playable for Mayberry. One gone here in the fourth. And that'll bring John Ladden to the plate. Sarge, the Fanatic Dangle hats are all over the ballpark. Some of them in the seats for moms and for kids. They're also out in Paris. We asked fans to send in their favorite dangle hat moment. And that one comes all the way from the Eiffel Tower as John Ladden takes on the outside corner. And today, the latest one, it's probably the most precious that we've seen. That is Cameron Gale Palmer.
Wow.
Born at 2:51 p.m. today. Mom Megan is doing great. Dad Tony. And of course, instead of putting one of those little knit hats on them, what do? They find a Fanatic Dangle hat for them.
Unbelievable. Looks good. Probably one of the hotter items there at the ballpark this year.
Well, Cameron's going to look back at that in 15 years and she's going to say, seriously, Mom and Dad?
And you're right about that. They will say that.
1-2 the count to Lannon. Outside, 2-2. Way outside. Now 3-2 to Lannon, who's not much of a hitter. In fact, under 100 for his career. Does have a home run. Jason Worth on deck.
Well, he's worked himself into a predictable count, and because it is the pitcher, you will throw him that fastball. Don't want to walk him.
Uh-oh. You just walked him. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Mets are shutting out the Pirates 4-0. David Wright has passed Ed Kranepool as the all-time hits leader in Mets history. Wright now has 1,419 for his career. And who knows if he'll be with New York next year when 2013 rolls around.
No, he's been a solid player. He's a clutch hitter in the league. Plays pretty good defense. Those are the type of guys that you can win with. Hits the ball the other way. Started off quick this year and kind of tailed off a little. Thought Kyle Kendrick just got the ball up in the zone a little bit too much tonight. I think he'd be the first to tell you that. You can see a lot of ground balls out of him.
Yeah, up in the zone with the sinker and not around the strike zone with the changeup. Would you agree with that, sir?
Yeah, he didn't get in a position to be able to throw that changeup because that first pitch was not a quality pitch.
0-2 the count to Worth. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, you make a mistake with the fastball against this club, they can put a charge in it.
Swing and a miss. Good pitch. First strikeout for Rosenberg. Fans always like when Jason Worth is retired. Be a fanatic about reading. It's for kids who are in the kindergarten through 9th grade. It's a free program to enhance literary skills. Students receive pencils, bookmarks, posters, and the opportunity to receive a literacy visit from the Fanatic. It's presented by Comcast. For more information, visit phillies.com/reading or email fandev@phillies.com. There's Bryce Harper. He fouls it off to the third base side.
Well, this guy's ready. First pitch fastball. Kyle Kendrick made the mistake getting that ball out over the plate. The way you want to pitch him is you want to pitch him tight, tie him up. Just like that first pitch, fastball up and in. Now take a look and see where the pitch is. You get those hands extended, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to put a charge in that ball, and that's a long way to hit a ball out there to center field. It shows you how much power this young hitter has.
The count 0-2 with a runner at first. With a low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ladden at first, not being held on. And he got him. He got his 2 strikeouts in this inning on the breaking pitch. No runs, no hits, 1 man left. We played 3.5. The Phil's offense looking for some more runs when we get back. They'll send Dominic Brown, Darren Ruff, and Kevin Franzen to the plate against left-hander John Lannon. Well, you know when it's the end of the year because you look down on the field of the Baseball Writers Association of Philadelphia, is handed out their awards, and that's what they did before the ball game tonight. And Murph, I would think that the awards that were given out were appropriate. Carlos Ruiz getting the MVP, and the list goes on and on after that.
Yeah, Carlos getting the Mike Schmidt MVP award, certainly deserving for him. Cole Hamels won the Steve Carlton Most Valuable Pitcher award, and again, you know, not a big argument on that one. How about Jimmy Rollins? He was acknowledged this year with the Dallas Green Special Achievement Award after a year that was full of milestones for Jimmy. And then Juan Pierre, he won the Tug McGraw True Pro Award. And anyone that's had any kind of dealings with Juan Pierre certainly is not going to argue that he is the ultimate pro, no doubt about it. And Rob Matty, Ryan Lawrence, Jim Salisbury, and Kevin Cooney looking particularly sharp today, guys, handing out those awards.
Saw them all wearing shirts and ties, and you knew something was up.
That's right.
How about that?
Except for Jim Salisbury, he decided to go with the casual, the business attire for tonight.
Well, Jim is very cool, and he likes to portray that.
It's too cool for school, Murph. Well, congratulations to all those guys, and I think each appropriate. Hamels getting his 16th win. Rollins with 2,000 hits, 400 stolen bases this year.
Yeah, yeah.
Carlos, of course, doing what he did to help carry this offense in the first half of the year.
Yeah, I don't think you can argue with the picks for the different awards that are right on them.
Not at all.
Don't usually see the sports writers, though, dressed like that. Really surprised for me.
Swing and a miss, and Brown's down on strikes. There's one away. Brown thought that ball was in the dirt, so he was taking a trot up the first base line. Well, here are the awards, as we said. The Mike Schmidt Most Valuable Player to Ruiz. The Steve Carlton Most Valuable Pitcher to Cole Hamels. Jimmy Ruiz, the Dallas Green Special Achievement. And Tug McGraw, well, he would be proud to have his name on the award True Pro going to Juan Pierre.
Yep. Without a doubt.
Darin Ruf is the batter. And he takes low and in.
Oh, back to the regular dress.
Well, Rob still looks a little sharp there. He just doesn't have the tie on.
Well, he always looks pretty good, though.
Jackie Shore next to him. Jake is there. There's Jim Salisbury. So that's why Jim's got his jacket hanging up nicely so he can wear it again in the next couple of days and not have it dry cleaned. Kevin Cooney up top with Leslie Goodell.
Kevin had his tie on, smiling.
Now, Philadelphia is very fortunate with the folks that they have covering their respective sports. And it's always been that way. 1-2 the count to Ruff. And he holds up. It's 2-2. All right, so I got to the bottom of the freeze out today, Sarge.
You did, huh?
I asked Ryan Howard last night. I said, was that you or Jimmy Rollins? He said, no. He goes, honestly, the guy that came up with it was Carlos Ruiz.
Unreal. Wouldn't you know it?
Jeffrey, Michael.
Talked to Carlos about it a little bit today, and he said they kind of put it all together when Ruff hit the home run, but they had been talking about it. And he said there were some folks that wanted it to carry over to the next inning and then congratulate him.
Too long. that would have been way too long.
Carlos laughed about it. Juan Pierre said on Daily News Live today that it bothered me. He wanted to celebrate it. It was tough to hold on for 5 minutes.
Well, I'm sure it was. Especially when you have a milestone like that you reach your first home run.
Zimmerman backhands behind the bag and just in time to get Ruff. Yeah, there are 2 outs here in the fourth. Well, here's Darin Ruff going to the dugout last night. Even Rob DiClemente, the Phillies bat boy, he's tossing the ball up and down. He ignored him too.
Oh boy, getting it from everybody.
Murph, you were down there last night when this was going on. What were the players doing?
Well, I'll tell you, it's funny that you mentioned what Juan Pierre had to say today on Daily News Live, because you could see it written all over his face. He was pained that he couldn't go over and congratulate Darin. And at the end of it, after they were able to celebrate, Don Brown walked over to the steps where I was sitting, and he said, "Oh, my God." He said, I was getting to the point where I was feeling queasy in my stomach. I felt so bad for the guy.
That was great. It was just under 5 minutes, the freeze. As Franzen takes inside, it's 2 balls and no strikes. Well, all-around baseball. I mean, they showed it, and it was funnier and funnier every time you saw it. On the outside corner, 2-1.
For such a long time, he's probably wondering whether or not he'd even hit the home run out of the ballpark. Or probably thinking himself, this freeze is a little longer than he would anticipated.
Franzen shoots it to center. Harper misjudged it initially, and it's off his glove, and he stumbles down to the ground. Franzen's at second. He's thinking about three. He's on his way to third. Desmond's throw on one hop, and he is safe at third because Ryan Zimmerman dropped the ball. And Franzen, a little bit of pain over there in the third base bag.
Yeah, looked to be laboring just a little bit going around second base. Bryce Harper, center fielder, though, he got mixed up in there. His first step was in. Then he tried to get back to no avail as he gets up. You see that little turn right there? That's where he got messed up a little bit before there. Good try, but however, good center fielder gets that and holding on to the throw. Gets Franzen at third base.
I think that ball came up and hit Zimmerman right in the nose. So Rosenberg, who sacrificed last time up and got on because of an error, hits that one back toward the middle over the second base bag. They collide and it's into center field. A run scores and B.J. Rosenberg has his first big league base hit. An RBI single, and it's a 5-2 ball game.
He tipped his hat. How about that? Oh boy, gotta like that. Pick it up. An RBI with your first hit as they roll the ball out. Take a look at it. We've talked about it 100 times. Hitting that ball up the middle, good things can happen. May not have been clean, but it works just as well as both the fielders almost collide.
Rollins takes low. It's 1-0. Rollins 0 for his last 18. He is due. So a very manageable ball game now for the Phillies. They trail it by 3.
That's what J-Ro has this year. That he goes through spells where he just can't seem to get a hit at all. Hit that ball hard. 0 for 14, 0 for 19. He's had 3 or 4 of those during the course of the year. And one of the reasons why his average is where it is. Somewhere around, what, 248?
Right at 248. Sorry.
Starting the game at 249.
Ground ball toward the hole. Ooh, scooped up by Zimmerman. That was a fine play by Zimmerman at third, and Rosenberg is retired at second. The Phillies get one more. We've played 4. It's a 5-2 ball game as we go to the 5th. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. Buy Chevrolet. See your local Chevy dealer or visit ChevyDealer.com. And by McDonald's. McDonald's celebrates National Coffee Week with a free small coffee now through September 29th. Well, John Lannan has given up a run in each of the last 2 innings. He's been able to dance out of some extra trouble. Still has the lead as we go to the 5th. It'll be Zimmerman, LaRoche, and Mike Morse against B.J. Rosenberg.
Zimmerman taking away a hit from J-Ro. That ball took a wicked out. He was up to the task and picked that ball.
Right, Zimmerman has grounded out twice, once to short, once to second.
Love you, Mom.
B.J. Rosenberg came up with the Phillies earlier this year as a relief pitcher. When they sent him down to Lehigh Valley, he was inserted into the starting rotation. That's why he has settled into kind of the long man's role since he's come back up. There's some gas right up by Zimmerman. It's 1-2. Oakland and Texas on the Toyota Major League scoreboard. The A's are shutting out the Rangers 5-0. Oakland trails the Rangers by 4. Ball just barely missed being a strike.
It's a pretty good pitch. Ball down and away. Carlos having a difficult time in trying to frame that ball, just catching it. Shows you how hard, though, that he throws.
Fly ball center field. And Mayberry slides into the alleyway a little bit. And that'll bring Adam LaRoche to the plate. LaRoche is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up, walked his last time.
That's pretty good 1-2 tandem. And Zimmerman hitting third, LaRoche hitting fourth. Those guys have done some damage driving in runs this year.
And then you add Morse to the mix.
Yeah.
I think we've seen with the Phillies, Sarge, you probably need a 1-2-3 tandem in the middle, don't you?
Well, you know what? You do. You can get away with it, but when you look at the 32 home runs and 24 for Zimmerman, also that 280 or so average, that tells you that he's been consistent enough. And what Zimmerman hasn't picked up, LaRoche sure has, because Zimmerman hits in front of him most of the time, has that first opportunity to drive in the run. LaRoche hits what's left. He's got 98 RBIs on his way to 100.
Will he get MVP votes, you think? Not Zimmerman, but LaRoche?
Oh, definitely.
Well, Zimmerman could too. But
well, I think LaRoche would, just because it's been a lot of talk, and everybody said there with Washington, this is their MVP, so that tells me that even though hitting 269, that he's come up with some clutch hits. And the reason why they are on top, besides, let's face it, the pitching, Gio Gonzalez, who has 20 victories. He'll get votes for the Cy Young, don't think for the MVP.
Well, LaRoche, second time tonight he's been struck out. Once by Kendrick, now once by Rosenberg, who has 3 strikeouts. Tonight on Sportsnight, highlights from tonight's Phillies game. Plus, Michael Vick meets the media about the huge Giants-Eagles game this Sunday night. And meet one of the new faces of the 76ers, swingman Nick Young. Get all the news Philly fans need to know on Sportsnight tonight after postgame live only on Comcast Sportsnet. Morse is 1 for 2. He lined out and reached on an infield single. 0-1 the count.
The scary thing about the Nationals that they got some pretty young guys, some young stars on the team that are doing well. Morris last year had a breakout year. Injuries that prevented him from having the kind of year that he's capable of, and that's 30 home runs or so. Trying to get him to swing at that slider. Pretty good pitch. That's what you want to do once you get 2 strikes on him. Not necessarily having to throw a strike to get him out.
Ball kind of jumped at 97 miles an hour.
He's got a good fastball. Just needs to harness that breaking ball a little bit better. And that makes all of his pitches better. Especially when you can spot that fastball down and away on the outside corner for a strike.
Ball walloped the mask of Carlos Ruiz. It remains 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That's the pitch that I'm talking about. That's not the area you want to throw that pitch. You want to throw that pitch down and away. Got away with that one, a little bit lucky. That was a hanger right out over the plate.
1-2 the count. Souvenir City in the set bat. Second to last home game. I'll tell you what, the Phillies have had such an up and down year. It's still a nice sized crowd on hand here at the ballpark. That breaking pitch just missed. It looked like it was a darn good pitch.
Now just a little bit outside, but you're right about that with the fans. They've done their job in coming out, supporting the ball club, acting as if they're the 10th man to get them going at times. Just haven't seemed to be able to put together the streaks they need.
Think about all the games that we've been at the last few weeks, and looking at that shot behind home plate, and seeing a lot of vacant seats around the league.
Yeah,
everybody's city's different, but just how great that center field shot looks. How thick the lower level has been with fans the whole year. And same for the Hall of Fame club. That ball hits it the opposite way. Utley gets to it. And Rosenberg has a 1-2-3 fifth inning. He has given the Phillies a chance. Despite a 10-pitch at bat to Mike Morse, he's thrown 3 scoreless out of the bullpen. It on Fox and TBS. The excitement begins October 5th with the wild card on TBS. Some of the youngins who are here at the ballpark tonight. It's always good to have a lollipop from time to time, Sarge.
Yep. Oh, boy.
Well, you can't edit this stuff, folks. What dad hasn't done that, right, Sarge?
Well, yeah, I guess.
Oh. Folks helping folks. John Mayberry leads it off. He takes high. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Mayberry's 1 for 2. He's grounded and short and he's single. Two and 0 the count.
Hey, this guy landed not an overpowering pitcher. I mean, you can come back 3 runs, not a lot of runs to get on a guy like this.
Center field, but playable for Harper. Sounded pretty good.
Yeah, those are the pitches, the 3 and 1. You call those cripple pitches because you know you're going to get that fastball. You just don't want to be late. He was right out there on it, but for whatever reason, not really driving the ball. And that's the type of pitch you want to see him to be able to drive that 3-1 fastball.
Well, Mayberry's retired. Now Utley's coming up. Utley is 1 for 2. That time is called.
A little strikeout pitch there that he likes to throw to lefties once he gets 2 strikes on them. And he has a little slider that he'll throw. That's what he struck Ryan Howard out on with the bases loaded. Just got to make him get it up a little bit. And you should have pretty good success. Don't want to swing at that ball that's down. That's his sinker, and he usually gets ground balls on that.
That ball's hit the opposite way. Morse toward the edge of the track, and he makes the catch. Time now for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. A lot of youngsters in the ballpark tonight, Sarge. On a comfortable night. Whoa. That's a pretty good bounce. Now that hat will take a few years to fit perfectly. That face fits perfectly. Oh.
Oh, boy.
Our Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by Frost Brew. Ryan Howard, the hitter. And Howard pulls it right at Adam LaRoche. And the Phillies go down in order here in the 5th inning. 1, 2, 3. So Ladden's through 5. The Phillies have 2 runs against him. And we go to the 6th here in South Philadelphia. showing his power once again. After missing the first 84 games of the season, Ryan Howard moved back into the cleanup spot, looking to regain his damaging swing. That swing returned this week in New York in a big way, winning one game and putting a grand cap on another. The fine-tuning is not completely done, but adding his 300th career home run is a big step for the big piece in the right direction. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross, changing the game. Well, Ryan Howard certainly has picked up his share of RBIs during his favorite month, which is the month of September. He just lined out to wrap up the bottom of the fifth. So now as we go to the top of the sixth inning, Josh Lindblom will take over for the Phillies after B.J. Rosenberg gave them 3 scoreless innings out of the pen.
Yeah, that was big. Now you can kind of see why you don't like your starters only to go 1 or 2 innings. It can get into your bullpen, eat it up for the next day. Like for them to at least go 5-6 innings, if not the 7 innings.
Lindblom in 71 games this year, 3-3, an ERA of 3.33. And it has started to rain here in Philadelphia.
Just a little.
It was raining earlier today here at the yard. They put the tarp on the field after the Phillies finished BP.
Yeah. I don't think the opposition liked that, but you had to put it on because it started to rain.
What had won the count?
Just so happens right at the end of the Fighting Phil's batting practice.
I get the sense that this kind of opposition would have their nose pushed out of joint if they feel like they're slighted even the least bit.
Yeah, well, they didn't really need that much. It doesn't seem like the way they've been hitting the ball. 5-3 if you're scoring.
1 out. Steve Lombardozzi is the batter. Well, you mentioned it before. The Nationals have struck out a lot this year, but they've also made up with that with their home runs this year.
Yeah, they have, though. 1,252 times striking out. I mentioned earlier about the 180 home runs compared to the Fighting Phils that have 155 home runs.
Lombardozzi takes upstairs, 1-0.
So it depends on. I mean, the Phillies they have 1,000 strikeouts too, only 1,028. But the fact is, not doing near as much damage as you need to, and being able to have run support for the pitchers, and that's really what it boils down to.
I know folks talk about the quote-unquote small ball aspects of the game, but it is nice to have guys that can put it out of the ballpark.
Yeah, well, I mean, small ball is basically, getting on base, being able to hit doubles as opposed to, the home runs, moving guys over. But you got to have the players, though, to do that. You can't play it that way without having the players.
Charlie, during all his years as a major league manager, whether it be Cleveland or here in Philadelphia, he's had guys consistently that could pop it out of the ballpark.
Yeah, he's had mostly, you're right, power type of clubs.
Swing and a miss, and Lombardozzi is rung up. 4 strikeouts now for the Phillies bullpen. Well, it's gotten to that point where it is poncho time. Mentioned before, people helping people.
If you haven't put one on before,
It's tricky.
Test you a little.
Well, it's like, go to the supermarket, in the produce section where you get those bags to put your fruit in.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's tough to open those up. They're stuck together. You got to put them between your hands and rub it like you're trying to warm up your hands.
Yeah, or start a fire kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that happen before.
2-0 the count. Those folks have done it before.
Yeah. Well, he's got to get a hood on his head.
Foul ball, and it's 2-1. Very smooth by the young lady. He's he's just trying to get the bottom part opened up. Fly ball down the right field line. Dominic Brown in fair territory, now in foul territory, puts it away. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for the Phillies bullpen. Nationals are retired in order. That gentleman is just about complete, we think. We'll give you an update when we return. Visit your Honda dealer right now for great deals. Only a Honda is a Honda. By Xfinity, the official HD triple play provider of your Phillies. By Thomas Jefferson University Hospital. Call 1-800-JEFF now for an appointment. And by Toyota. Every new Toyota purchase comes with Toyota Care. Well, as the rain falls here in Philadelphia, we go to the bottom of the 6th inning in a 5-2 game. The bullpen has allowed the Phils to hang in there on a night which the Nationals scored 5 runs in the first 2 innings against Kyle Kendrick. Carlos Ruiz will lead it off against John Lannon. It'll be Ruiz, Brown, and Darin Ruf.
They can get back into this game here. Walks, base hits.
I mentioned before how I asked Carlos the stat that was the most important to him this year, the one that he's proudest of. Did you hear what I was saying before? You can say yes.
No, I mean, I didn't hear which one was the most important.
Which one do you think is?
RBIs.
That's it. That's what he said.
Yeah. You know, I mean, you have the RBIs. You got to have a pretty good average, but he's been so steady since spring training. I mean, he's taking the way he was hitting in spring training right into the year, and that's what you really want to see. But now you got to have some other guys that get a little bit more consistent the same way that Carlos has been this year.
Well, base runner for the Phillies. Dominic Brown's coming up. It's time for the Major League Notebook. Here's Murph.
All right, T-Mac, thank you very much. Brought to you by Gwynedd Mercy College. And according to Giants manager Bruce Bochy, the San Francisco Giants have no intention of including Melky Cabrera on their 25-man postseason roster. Of course, Cabrera has been suspended after testing positive for using testosterone. He's been suspended for 50 games, but now they said they are not going to put him on the 25-man roster. Now, they have a couple days to make that decision, but as of now, no Melky Cabrera. And one other note in the Major League Notebook, and I know Sarge would like to address this, but Dusty Baker is recovering well after a mini stroke, and the team is expecting him back maybe as early as this weekend. So certainly good news for Dusty Baker, guys.
Yeah, that is. Thanks there, Murph, there. Yeah, he did have that mini stroke. It's coming from the hospital. Actually had it right in the hospital. Lucky for him, however, there were some questions that they were asking him before he was getting ready to, I guess, to leave the hospital. He couldn't answer them.
Huh.
And he just told me that he just started fumbling with his words. And, well, he had to stay back, put him back in. Lo and behold, he found out that he had a stroke. Now, you'll have to change that diet for sure. So no more eating his favorite foods late at night.
Now, will you change your diet to help him along? Just to,
It's the right thing to do, sorry.
I agree with Murph.
Won't be doing that, but I'm going to watch him. I mean, I'll let him know. I'll let him know you can't eat that. But he'll change it. I mean, he's pretty dedicated. And once the doctor says, hey, this is what you have to do, basically, to be able to live, he'll do just that. He's pretty strong that way.
And the most important thing, guys, I'm sorry, Tom, just is that he'll be back with it. It's been a special season, obviously, in Cincinnati, as these guys have already wrapped up a postseason spot. So he'll be back with the team, barring any other complications, maybe as early as this weekend and certainly throughout the postseason. And that is great news, not only for the folks in Cincinnati, but certainly his team as well.
All right, Murph, we've got a pitching change here in Philadelphia. Ryan Matthews is coming in. In fact, I think we have a double switch. We'll let you know about it when we return. So he'll lead off in the top of the 7th inning. He was just turning his back so the home plate umpire Joe West could see it. And Ryan Matthews is the new pitcher for the Nationals, 5-3 with an ERA of 2.89. He's on to face Darin Ruf with the Nationals up 5-2 here in the bottom of the 6th. Carlos Ruiz is at first base. Ruf tonight is 0 for 2. He's lined to right and he's grounded out to third. Takes inside, 1 ball and no strikes.
I really only have him landing in trouble that one time. It was serious trouble, not able to take or capitalize on it. And you knew Davey Johnson wasn't going to have him in there to get in serious trouble. That's why when you have him there, you really want to take advantage of it early in the ball game.
Ruf was taken all the way, and it's a strike at the knees. It's 2-1. Ground ball over to third. Ooh, tough hop. Zimmerman handles it. Espinosa is able to turn the double play. 5-4-3. Matthews gets the last 2 outs here in the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left for the Phillies. We've completed 6, with the Nationals still on top.
Well, quick 3-home run, 5-run start for the Washington Nationals. Tough night for Kyle Kendrick. Didn't get through the 3rd inning. See those runs charged in. B.J. Rosenberg, nice job in relief behind Kyle. And 1 inning so far from Josh Lindblom. John Lanning gave him a solid start. Now they turn it over to their bullpen. Those are the 3 home runs hit tonight by Washington.
Danny Espinosa leads it off, and he takes outside. It's his first at-bat of the game. Rosenberg did a heck of a job. Now Lindblom has retired the 3 batters he's faced. Espinosa 254 with 16 home runs. Inside 2-0. It'll be Espinosa, then Worth, and Bryce Harper. 9-1-2. Foul tip, and it's 2-1.
I got one for you. Michael DeMuzio, he's been around here forever in all kinds of roles. Right now is Director Operations Facility. He came up with a heck of a possible scenario this weekend. I'm going to run it by you after this pitch.
All right.
Pretty neat.
3-1 pitch to Espinosa. Sort of missed. 3-2.
Say something's never happened before. He said these guys are playing the Cardinals, right, this weekend? Could they both clinch on the same day? They could.
I guess they could.
I mean, there's something in there where it could conceivably happen, right? Can you imagine that?
Huh. Do they celebrate together?
Well, that's what I mean. What do you do?
They just they just tarp up one area?
Or do they both just dance? They both dance all over the field afterwards? It was a heck of a point.
I think a lot of folks were looking at that National St. Louis series before the Phillies went to Houston and said, that could be to the Phillies' benefit.
Sure. Yeah, now you're looking at, that. Well, it's not going to happen. And now you're looking at Washington and St. Louis over the weekend playing each other. One going for wild card or division title is what they want, and the Cardinals, of course, for that second wild card. Anyway, it'll be interesting to just see if there's any chance that could coincide.
That's a good question.
It really is.
Now the 3-2 to Espinosa again on the hands behind the second base bag, and Utley makes the call. So 4 up, 4 down for Lindblom. These lucky fans of tonight's Citizens 7. They will receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com.
Great job here at the ballpark, as so many people do, running this facility, because it is just beautiful. And every day you walk in here, you think, wow, what a great place to work.
Mike is the guy that we'll sometimes see when there's a rain delay, and we'll see a guy on the phone down around the visitors on deck circle.
He started out in the 70s on the ground crew.
You think he saw Larry Christensen's home run?
Oh, probably. Was thrilled by it, just like we were.
Grounder foul, and it's 0-2.
Don't get him started again now. Don't get him fired.
He doesn't have my cell phone, though.
Yeah, I am aware of that. He could very easily.
I'm sure he could.
Yeah. Well, I could handle that.
LC always with a smile on his face.
He's a good guy.
Ground ball to shortstop. Rollins will wait on it, and Worth, thanks to Howard being over there at first to dig it out, Worth is retired. And there are 2 outs. Well, the bright spot tonight in a game where the Phillies gave up 5 in the first 2 has been the bullpen. Lindblom, 3 scoreless innings, and now, Rosenberg, 3 scoreless innings. Now Lindblom has retired 5 in a row.
1 base runner, and that was on Lannon walk. But the Nationals doing what they have to do. They got out of that one tough inning with the bases loaded and 1 out. And since then, Lannon was very efficient. Then Matthews came in and did his job, get the double play ball.
Harper's 1 for 3. He had a 2-run home run his first time up. And he takes a slider for a strike.
They have Clippard and Storin at the end of the game now. There's some school who thought that Storin will wind up the closer in postseason for them the way he was before he hurt his arm. But Clippard saved them this year. Absolutely bailed them out and got them in a position where they are right now, because they were having all kinds of problems in the 9th inning.
No appeal, no swing, says the third base umpire Andy Flesher. And it's 2-1. Harper got it all started with that 2-run home run. Since that time, Kendrick got him to ground into a fielder's choice, and then Rosenberg struck him out. Well, Carlos thought that was a strike. There's Tyler Clippard.
Don't you think he may be first tonight and Storin later?
Got him on the outside fastball. 1-2-3 go the Nationals again here in the 7th inning. Now the Phillies bullpen has risen to the occasion tonight. When Kyle Kendrick gave up 5 early, the bullpen has picked up the slack. Time to stretch here in Philadelphia. The question one more time. Name the last Phillies pitcher to hit a home run for his first major league hit.
No way I know this except you told me last night.
I know.
Jeff Bittinger.
That's right. September 22nd, 1986 against the Buccos.
He didn't pitch here very long. I have to look that one up. He pitched what, in 85 maybe?
86.
86, okay.
Yeah, I remembered him when he was with the Twins, the Minnesota Twins.
Right-hander.
Right-hander, correct. Born in Jersey City, New Jersey. You know what we have in common, he and I was born in Jersey City, New Jersey.
I was going to say that. Probably what it is.
He was born earlier than I was, though, at 62. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Kevin Franzen leads off the bottom of the 7th and grounds out to first. And Ryan Zimmerman takes care of Franzen, so Nate Schierholtz will pinch hit.
Would be the Garden
for Lindblom.
The Garden State is Bruce Springsteen was just singing "Working on the Highway," or is that the title of that song? I don't know if that's
Working.
That's probably not the name of it. Christine says that's the name.
That is the name.
Yeah.
Okay. Bruce, who played 2 shows here at Citizens Bank Park, and just finished up some shows up at MetLife Stadium, the Meadowlands. In fact, one of the shows lasted, I think, until 2 a.m. because of a rain delay.
Oh, boy.
Schierholtz fouls the first pitch back. It's 0-1.
A little spritz here a little while ago. Didn't last long, thankfully. Jeremy Horst up for the Phillies. He'll be next.
Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike to Schierholtz. Sean Burnett's in the bullpen for the Nationals. That's because of the lefties that are coming up after Rollins and Mayberry.
Yeah, they have a really good back of their bullpen with that guy, Clippard, and now Storen, who was hurt early in the year. They went through Brad Lidge. They went through Gonzalez. Rodriguez, I mean.
Rodriguez
had a really tough
yeah.
time. Guy could throw 100 miles an hour, but it was on the screen a lot of times. That wasn't real good.
Inside, it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Matthews done a good job for him. Stammen, who we saw here last night, has also pitched very effectively.
To the right side, and Adam LaRoche will take it to the bag. With all that said, because of the way the Phillies bullpen is pitched tonight, Phillies are still well within reach, down by 3 here in the bottom of the 7th. And Rollins coming up. Rollins 0 for his last 19. He's hit the ball hard his last 2 times up. Talked to Charlie today for a while. We were doing his final television show, and I asked him what he'll remember about 2012 when it's all said and done. And he said the thing he'll remember is how his team never gave up. He said, you know, he doesn't like to do anything unless he's there to win. And he said the players, for the most part, are that way too. He said, but even with all the injuries and all the issues they had, they never stopped. And the run they put in at the end of August, really since the All-Star break, leads him to believe that this team will be back. It may not look exactly the same as it does today, but it will be back in 2013 and will compete for a playoff spot in the division crown. Could have the same foundation, but could have some young, fresh faces like Darin Ruf, who you just saw, folks like that.
Very interesting to see what they do during the offseason. Always is.
Those 2 guys right there will be interesting for 2013, Juan Pierre and Dominic Brown. Rollins hits in the air, deep to right field. It's a 2-run game. That one is gone. Jimmy Rollins with his 23rd home run of the year. It snaps an 0 for 19 slump. And the Phils have pulled to within 2 here at the bottom of the 7th inning.
That's a nice way to snap a slump. And there's no doubt about that. Boy, did he hit that thing.
Also moves Jimmy within 2 runs of 100 for the season. And Jerome King of Monroeville, New Jersey, you've won $100. Compliments of Rollins of the McDonald's home run jackpot.
And Matthews fell behind 3-0, then 3-1, then challenges him. And watch the fans in the Fanatic here. They knew it had a chance as soon as Jimmy hit it. That baby was hit hard.
Look at the profile of the Fanatic watching it go.
It's some proboscis.
It's a big word. Feels.
Yeah. I think it means nose. Maybe not. Hope it did.
Rollins now 23 home runs, 67 runs batted in. Foul ball. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Mayberry. Problem, Wheels, is that Carl's trying to figure out how to spell it.
Well, you know what? Why don't we just leave it alone in case it doesn't mean that? I know how to spell it. Quite a snout.
Mayberry 1 for 3. Outside, 2-1 the count.
Well, one more hitter for Ryan Matthews. As you mentioned, Tom Burnett's out there for Utley and Howard. What's it mean?
A long-nosed monkey.
All right. Close.
We won the count.
A new word every day.
It's a great word.
Yeah.
PROBOSCIS.
Thank goodness I was close.
Foul ball. It's 3-2. An elongated appendage from the head of an animal.
There you go. Not bad. Mr. Capriati at Marple Newtown would have been proud, my English teacher.
Boy.
He still watches these games. I still hear from him. It's so neat to know he's still watching and a big Phillies fan. Dr. William Capriati. What a good man. Now he says call him Bill.
You can't though.
Back in those days. No, he's still Mr. Capriati to me, or now Doctor.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to John Mayberry. Here at the bottom of the 7th. Matthews is set. And he tied him up. So the Phils have had 3 innings where they've gotten single runs tonight, but they've pulled to within 2. Jimmy Rollins is the latest single home run or single run. It came on a home run. We go to the 8th inning here in Philadelphia. The Phils down 5-3 to the Nationals. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. Buy Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Buy AT&T. Rethink possible. And buy Nissan. Save big at Nissan's Bottom Line Sales Event. It ends October 1st. Visit ChooseNissan.com. 7 in the books. We go to the 8th inning. And there's still some hop in the step. The Phils and their fans as Jeremy Horst takes over to face Ryan Zimmerman, Adam LaRoche, and Mike Morse. 2 innings of relief for Josh Lindblom. And now Horst 2-0 this year, a 1.04 ERA. Since the All-Star break, the Phillies bullpen has an ERA of 2.92, 13 wins, 9 losses, and an earned run average of 2.92. In September, the earned run average coming into tonight, 1.70. In the bullpen this series, 9 innings, 1 hit. Ten strikeouts in those 9 innings. Opposite way, a foul ball. Liner to left field. Ruff will play it off the top of the fence. Zimmerman will stop at first. And a nice throw in on 1 hop. That is a long single.
Very long single. And Darren Ruff, of course, a work in progress out there in left field. He made that throw last night. I think he kind of heard it and threw it straight into the ground. And in this case, turns. Zimmerman smokes the ball off the wall. He plays it well. Gets it on a couple hops. Gets in good throwing position. And, you know, it's not real deep out there. So he gets it back nicely to second base.
Well, LaRoche tonight is 0 for 2 with a walk. Kendrick got him on strikes. Rosenberg got him on strikes. And now it's up to Horst, with Zimmerman taking a short lead off first. It is Clippard in the bullpen loosening up for the bottom of the 8th inning for the Nationals in a 2-run game. Low, 1 ball and 1 strike. That one sits softly up the first base side. LaRoche just shaking his head. Well, everybody else has been pounding the ball tonight, at least early on for the Nationals. He's been held in check.
He's just so dangerous that he gets his pitch and he has that easy swing.
Not tonight.
And he can hit the ball of the ballpark at any moment, or he can strike out a lot.
3 strikeouts tonight for Adam LaRoche, and here comes Michael Morse. Well, the Phillies are accepting applications for the 2013 Ball Girls. Requirements include strong interpersonal skills and outgoing personality. You must be 18 years of age and have a flexible schedule. Send a resume and a 2-minute DVD highlighting your softball experience and why you should be considered to the Phillies, Citizens Bank Park. Attention, Ball Girl applicant. 1 Citizens Bank Way, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19148. The Ball Girls like Marcy showing us the new fashion line. The deadline for the submission is October 15th. You can go for information at phillies.com/community. More of those new fashions that the Phillies ball girls are modeling that are available at the Majestic Clubhouse store. There they are. Michael Morse tonight is 1 for 3. Big swing and miss. And it's 0-2. There's Genevieve down the left field line.
Genevieve's the girl who made the great catch this year, right?
She did.
Was on fans plays of the year.
She did make a wonderful catch in that same spot. We had Marcy on for another one. 0-2 pitch to Morse. Over to second. That should be 2. Utley flips to Rollins. He led him beautifully, and it's a 4-6-3 double play. Oh, again, the bullpen steps up here in the top of the 8th inning. So now, as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, we'll go deep in the heart of the Nationals bullpen with the Phillies down by 2. Tonight on Phillies Clubhouse, don't miss the Phillies' top 10 moments from the past 5 years as voted by a blue ribbon panel of Phillies experts. This does not include wheels. Don't miss Phillies Clubhouse, presented by Mercedes-Benz, tonight at 11:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
No one has to do that.
Tyler Clippard has been asked to pitch the bottom of the 8th inning for the Nationals.
Now, this is really interesting the way they're setting this up, Tom. This is one of those occasions where Davey Johnson's telling you he's my 8th inning guy right here because you're bringing 2 left-handed hitters up. But Clippard has such a great changeup. Look what left-handed hitters have hit off him there. You saw 173, and that's because of that changeup. So he's the 8th inning guy, and Storen's the 9th, and Burnett's a situation guy with certain left-handers early.
Yeah, I thought Storen would come in to start this inning at least. But you're right.
You mean Burnett?
Burnett, I'm sorry, Burnett, yeah.
Right, but you know, the manager really likes to be able to use a guy in the 8th inning and pitch to both sides. And that's what he's doing right here.
So Utley, who's 1 for 3, will start it off for the Phillies.
Well, you talk about getting ready for postseason. Here go the Nationals.
Their magic numbers at 5 to clinch the division. They've already qualified for the postseason. There's Storen.
Yep.
He's just getting himself ready to warm up.
He is going to take over his role as closer that he had before the injury, and that Clippard picked up later on this year and did such a good job.
Utley takes low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Braves winning 3-0 there in the bottom of the 8th, so they look like they have a heck of a chance to win again tonight. But the Nationals are in a great spot because they don't need any help. They win their games, they'll be fine.
Utley lines it toward right field. Worth is over, and he can't get it. A 1-hop off the scoreboard. Chase thought about stopping. Now he's heading to second, and he's there sliding. tying run is coming to the plate.
When he ripped that ball,
He
Tom.
sure did.
Because Worth got a pretty good jump on it. It wasn't hit very high, and it was hooking away from Jason Worth. He said he thought about stopping because he sure doesn't want to get thrown out in a 2-run game. There it is. It's just right on the nose. Worth can't get there, just away from his glove, and then one hop back to him. But he overruns it by so much with his momentum going the other way that Chase now he sees I can get the second.
Ryan Howard is 0 for 2. Lifetime against Clippard, he's 2 for 8. 3-man overshift. Howard takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Right, and with the force not in play, they can play the second baseman Espinosa all the way out. If the force were in play right now with a runner at first, then he would be more into this area, but now he can play back there.
Similar spot, a little tight, and it's 1-1.
Well, Clippard's going to throw his fastball in the mid-90s, and then he'll throw that seed squirting out of a great changeup that he has, which is really good. And a much slower velocity with the same angle, everything.
1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Howard.
Like that.
There you go.
You know, he comes right over the top. And as a hitter, that looks like a fastball when it leaves his hand, and it's 15 mile an hour slower. Here it comes, same delivery, same arm slot, same arm speed. That's just a great changeup, and that's why he can pitch to left-handed hitters. Another one.
RUIZ on deck. Down the left field line, it'll slice out of play. And it remains 2-2.
So hard to get a good swing at a fastball. Then after he throws those 2 changeups to you, and then he comes with a mid-90s fastball. You see how late Howard was on it. Boy, they really playing him around in the outfield with that big gap in right center field. But he does. He'll hit a lot of fly balls towards left and left center, whereas he'll pull his ground balls.
Couldn't hold up on what turned out to be a high fastball that was way out of the strike zone. And with 1 away, it'll bring Carlos Ruiz to the plate.
Yeah, trying to recognize it out of his hand. As Tom said, a high fastball out of the strike zone, too late to hold on.
Now, Suzuki's out there to talk to Clippard about Ruiz, but also make sure that he keeps an eye on Utley at second base. Ryan Howard, who has struck out twice tonight, still may get one more chance in the 9th inning, depending on how this inning goes. They would start Ruiz off with something other than a fastball to begin this at bat.
And he does throw a breaking ball too to right-handed hitters. He doesn't throw many to left-handed hitters. They'll play that outfield and the no doubles, don't hit it over your head defense. They are really deep, especially Morrison left. Look where Morrison is. Way back there. He's past where the grass is dead. Or a little brown.
Speaking of Brown, Dominic Brown is on deck. They're working the first couple pitches away to Ruiz with one out here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Right, they're trying to stay away from his pull power right now for a home run that would tie the game. They want him to hit the ball the other way, keep him in the yard.
That gets away from Suzuki, and Utley will go over to third. That's a wild pitch. All right, so there's another run over at third.
Yeah, they'll play it back here too with a 2-run lead, and the way they like their bullpen. Here it is. That looks like a breaking ball of some kind. Well, he just threw that thing straight into the ground. Tried to overthrow it. So we mentioned they'll play the infield back. Davey Johnson looking at his card there, and they'll give up a run here for the second out and then be down to 4 outs with a 1-run lead.
Utley gets a good lead off third. Carlos takes a strike. It's 3-1.
What we don't want here is a strikeout. Get a run in here somehow, some way.
In the dirt, and runners on first and third for Dominic Brown. Second time tonight that Ruiz has worked out a walk. So now the tying runs at first here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Utley's over at third. Both Porter's trying to align the defense, particularly the outfielders. He's bringing in Mike Morse. He's on the offside of Dominic Brown. They're going to keep Worth back a step in right. There's Worth.
Well, they want to play deeper on the pull side, which makes sense. They'll hold Ruiz on at first.
Brown didn't get a bad pitch there. He just fouled it away.
And he was late on it.
Dominic tonight 0 for 3. Does have 23 runs batted in.
So why would you hold Ruiz on? Well, he represents the tying run, so they don't want him to be able to score in a double. 2 ways they're trying to prevent against it, by the outfielders being pretty deep and also holding him on at first base. Ideally, they like to take the hole away from Brown on the right side. Good job holding up on the changeup.
Suzuki spinning every which way behind home plate.
The Clippers trying to throw non-strikes, get them to chase, and they're doing a pretty good job of not chasing for the most part.
Yeah, Clippard's been very good for the Nationals this year. Now the last several weeks haven't been the same as the first couple of months. His ERA is 3.65.
He's a strikeout fly ball pitcher when you see that. Throw that thing at any time. There it is. He's behind in the count. Dominic Brown not used to him, and he throws a changeup.
Mike Rizzo, the Nationals general manager.
Those guys always try to act so calm, but boy, they're paddling like heck underneath that water.
He's trying to get another run or two home here in the 8th inning. Brown sends it in the air, deep to right field, deep enough to score. Utley. Worth is at the track, makes the catch. Utley will score from third, and this is a one-run game. Boy, he just missed giving the Phillies the lead. Got it in just a little bit, but he makes it interesting again here in the 8th inning.
Yeah, good job by Domonic Brown. Chase Utley leading off with a double. Good job by Domonic, get the ball in the air and get him home with 2 strikes. It looked like he throws him a fastball here after those changeups. He had to pull his arms in a little bit, so he didn't quite get it, but he got it deep enough to score the run. They're making it interesting tonight. They gave up 5 early and then thrown up the picket fence since.
Well, Darin Ruf is 0 for 3 with Ruiz at first. It's a foul behind the plate toward the upper deck. Well, somebody made a nice catch. And it's 0-1.
Only power hitters hit him over our head. The guys that hit the big flies. They're pretty high up here.
Serves it into right field, a base hit. Ruiz thinking about threes on his way. Worth won't make a throw. It's first and third with 2 men down. You give the kid some credit. He didn't try to do too much. And he just dumped it over the head of Espinosa.
He's pretty impressive. He doesn't swing and miss that much, at least early on. And he fouls a lot of balls off, and he'll hit the ball the other way, too.
Papelbon is up in the Phillies pen along with DeFreitas. Burnett's going to get up.
Well, this looked like a pretty easy game for the Nationals early, and now their Phillies are making a game out of it. There you see Ruff just over the glove there of Espinosa in the right field. Carlos Ruiz, good base run. He sees Worth was way back at the warning track almost for a no doubles type of defense there, so he knew he could go to third base. Good base running.
Steve McCaddy out to the mound with Burnett warming up in the pen.
Phillies loaded with bats off the bench from the left side, so that's why they're going to get him up.
Yeah, Nix is out of the on-deck circle for the Phillies. You have Nix, you have LaRude, you have Pierre, you have Pete Orr. Juan Pierre is going to pinch run for Darin Ruf over at first. A little extra speed, and Ruf will get a round of applause as he comes off the field. Well, Joe West is giving Steve McCaddy a long time out on the mound. A reminder that you can book your next corporate or social event here at Citizens Bank Park. The ballpark offers a variety of unique spaces and on-site catering available year-round. Call 215-218-5100.
Obviously, they don't want to get Pierre thrown out here to end the inning, but base stealers are 8 for 8 off Clippard, and that's because of that changeup, because it's slow. And down, where a catcher has a little trouble handling it sometimes.
Pierre doesn't go on the first pitch. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
Good job by Carlos Ruiz, a little walking lead there. Suzuki's been fighting some of these pitches in the dirt. You never know.
Well, he's already thrown 1 wild pitch in the inning. Want to know the count to Franzen. Expected that to be called a strike.
No, thought it was outside. Big pitch too. 2-0 or 1-1. 23rd pitch for Clippard. High
fastball and it's 1-2. Baltimore, 7 home runs. 7 home runs.
Wow.
Up 12-5 over Toronto. Jim Thome hit number 612 for the Orioles. Orioles are a game and a half behind the Yankees in the American League East. The Yankees defeated the Twins tonight 8-2. Franzen hits it the opposite way, down the right field line. It's going to slice the play. I thought maybe Pierre would go there. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
What's that? Yeah, you know what? This is a great time to run. I agree. But 2 strikes because he may go after him with that changeup in the dirt. And, you know, if he doesn't get Kevin out with it, then you have 2nd and 3rd.
Franzen fights another one off. It remains 1-2.
Throwing him fastballs. I wonder if they'd even throw down there. Take a chance if he goes. First thing you want to do is look the guy back at 3rd.
Second half of the season, the Phils have had some exciting finishes, hoping for another one in the second to last regular season game here at Citizens Bank Park. Suzuki out to the mound and talked to Cooper.
You mentioned earlier, Charlie, talking to you today about the heart that they have and that they do battle. Well, they're doing that tonight. That was a punch in the gut, 5-0 before you could blink, really. And since then, they've stayed after him, and the bullpen's been amazing.
The air goes, and the ball is foul tipped. And Franzen is struck out to end the 8th. The Phillies, however, pulled to within 1 on a sac fly from Dominic Brown. On to the 9th we go. 1-run game.
Left field, batting 7th. Now pitching for the Phillies, batting in the 9th position, number 79.
Bank Park, it's Fan Appreciation Night. We'll be on the air at 7 p.m. Game time is 7:05. You can order your tickets now at Phillies.com. All fans coming to the ballpark receive the 2013 Phillies schedule magnet, plus a postcard pack featuring 2012 Phillies highlights, free to all fans. Tyler Clippard just spent the last few moments talking with Steve McCatty, the pitching coach. He just said, wow, that's the way it's been for him over the last few weeks. But he did get Kevin Franzen on a strikeout to end the 8th inning.
Quite a play by Suzuki, too, because you can't practice what he did to hang on to that tough foul tip like that to get them out of the jam, because Pierre at second base stole him.
Well, Justin DeFreitas in his 10th ball game. An ERA of 1.17. He'll face Desmond to start it off, and then the on-deck hitter is Chad Tracy, a pinch hitter for the pitcher. Desmond shows bunt, takes a strike. It's 0-1. Desmond homered his first time up, and he's grounded out twice.
Well, they've done an amazing job all night, as we talked about, as a bullpen. They have to get 3 more outs and keep it to 1. Very different game at home.
6 scoreless innings so far for the bullpen. Bullpen has allowed 1 hit and 2 base runners overall.
And they'll go to Storen, of course, to try and close the game in the 9th.
Out of play down the right field line. There's Drew Storen.
Very, very competitive.
Fastball outside, 2-2.
Braves are probably in their clubhouse watching this game right now. They won again.
The Braves shut out the Marlins 3-0 behind Paul Mulholland. They defeated Josh Johnson.
A lot of Phillies fans in that clubhouse.
2 balls and 2 strikes, the count to Desmond. And the pitch from DeFreitas. Breaking ball away. It's 3-2. There's Chad Tracy.
And the Phillies in the 9th inning will go pinch hitter, and then Rollins, Mayberry, Utley, Howard.
Figure it'll be Nix.
Yeah.
Ball 4. Desmond is aboard with a leadoff walk.
And now they just used Howard or Pierre as a pinch runner.
Every time the Phillies retire the opposing team 1-2-3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports, giving you all your favorite sports all year long. Chad Tracy, 12 pinch hits so far this year. Take strike 1. It's 0-1.
1-run game. You think if it were a tie game, they'd probably have Papelbon in the game right now. But with one run behind, they're going to use DeFreitas. Here's a guy who's done a really good job for them this year. You need so many role players when you have a good season. Tracy's been one of them for the Nationals.
Yeah, they signed him to an extension through next year.
That was in Japan.
Runner goes, pitch is taken outside. The throw to second, not in time.
He really didn't get a good exchange there, it looked like. I don't know whether he's going to get him or not, but it looked like Carlos reached in there and didn't get the baseball the way that he wanted right away.
I didn't think Desmond had a great jump either. But I think you're right, Liz.
Just a little hesitation, and then he throws, and he can't get it. The Nationals, they're going to try and bleed out an extra run here right now. They desperately want it. inning starts with a leadoff walk.
Over to shortstop, that won't get the runner. Over to third. There's one away.
Yeah, that's exactly what the Phillies wanted and that they didn't want, with a left-handed hitter who can pull the ball to hit a ground ball to short in that area where it's not to the left of him, and he has to hold at second base.
Well, now Utley and Rollins both come in to talk to DeFreitas with Kurt Suzuki coming up.
And this is to remind him, all right, they didn't get him over just now. Be careful. We got to watch him and make sure Desmond doesn't get any kind of jump out here and steal third base, because that's what he wants to do. He has 20 steals and 26 attempts. We're going to play Suzuki to pole, it looks like. So let's see. Utley would be the guy to try and keep it a little bit close. Yeah, here's Utley coming in behind him now.
Bastardo has started to throw in the bullpen for the Phillies. Oh, it was just a little high. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
Desmond just got to look at what the Freitas did there, and you don't want to get into a pattern. Utley coming in behind him just to let him know he's there. That's good.
Did a little dancing off the second base bag as that pitch was coming in.
Yeah, he gives himself no momentum when he does that either, to steal a base. Start bouncing around like that. Really doesn't serve any purpose.
Now Ruiz will go out to talk to DeFreitas. The night started with Kyle Kenrick on the mound. He allowed 2 runs in the first, 3 in the second. In fact, he allowed 3 home runs in the first 2 innings. It's the first time since 2010 that he allowed 3 home runs in an outing. But that was it for the Nationals. The Phillies have clawed back with single runs in the 3rd, 4th, 7th, and 8th. And they've made it a 1-run game here at the top of the 9th. Not designed to pick him off. It's just designed to keep him a half step or a step closer to the bag.
But you know, we know you're there, and not to fall into a pattern where you do the same thing, like maybe 1 look, 2 looks, and then throw home.
There's John Lannon, who started the game for the Nationals. Another high fastball, and it's 1-2.
Doing a good job so far, too. Not getting distracted too much by the runner at second, although Suzuki's helping out by chasing.
Check swing, foul ball. Fly ball left field. Juan Pierre, a long run in and can't get it. It's picked up by Mayberry. Desmond's going to third. And there'll be runners on first and third with one man down. Will scored a base hit.
Boy, is that a big hit as it turns out there.
Ron really didn't see it off the bat all that well. And that caused him to hesitate just a little bit.
And he just doesn't get to it. Jimmy Rollins can't get there. He actually did get to it, didn't catch it. And Desmond stayed at second base for a long time. He has a glove on that and he just doesn't catch it. Desmond stayed at second base for a long time until he saw that it bounced far enough away that he could move over to third.
Jimmy peeled off, hearing that Pierre says he had it.
No, that's a left fielder's ball all the way.
Chase Utley's asking what they want him to do as far as playing where they want to play the infield. Now it looks like they're going to play it in with Espinosa.
A big run out there in this game. They don't want to take a chance on not making a double play and having the run score, so they're going to cheat the infield up. A lot of room for Espinosa to hit a ball through now.
Espinosa is 0 for 1. He popped out his first time up.
This guy will strike out too. That's what they desperately need here. Teams just don't squeeze much anymore. It's just not a part of the game. They're not used to it. But this is one of those situations where Porter's going to keep talking to his runner at third base. And the Phillies, you know, that's part of the whole thing right now on whether or not they would do it. I don't think they're going to pitch out.
Joe West is looking at Chase Utley. Utley's got it about 2 or 3 times, and Joe West keeps thinking, I'm going to tell him to go back to his position.
Well, this is a really long top of the 9th inning, but the Phillies, to their credit, are doing everything they can to keep this extra run off the board and keep it a 1-run game at home.
Little dribbler up the first base line.
Espinosa's going to go on contact here. They're going to do everything they can to get this run if the ball's hit in the infield. And the Phillies playing the infield in to come home on the play. Now, if he hit a bullet right at Rollins or Utley, they'd think about a double play.
Now it's 1-2.
These are the kind of runs that teams get that win divisions and win over 90 games and go to postseason because they're able to bleed them out. Freitas does not have a great breaking ball, but that'd be a good pitch to Espinosa here or a high fastball because he will chase with 2 strikes.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Everybody's set. And the pitch up high, 2-2. A little too high with that fastball.
Show it to him in the zone a little bit, and you might be able to get him to go after it.
Worth is on deck. Harper's behind him. Bastardo is warming in the pen. Toss the ball into the stands. All the fans standing up looking for the ball. He just, instead of throwing it into the stands, which is what he intended to do, he flipped it into the dugout. 2-2 the count to Espinosa. Got him. High fastball, and there are 2 outs.
There you go. Good job, because he does chase up there a lot, and they went after him in that zone.
And now he's got Worth to deal with.
And now he's got the crowd, too, to deal with. RUIZ going out there to talk to him. What are we going to do if the guy breaks him first? Right now the concern is Jason Worth with 2 outs.
He has a hit tonight. He's 1 for 3. A walk and a run scored. Oh, 1 the count.
This one's taking a little bit this time of the night, but it's got some serious drama.
Yes, it does. Well, they're getting on him now.
Hey, he stepped out.
Up and in. 1 ball and 1 strike.
That woke everybody up when he tossed that ball in the dugout.
After faking or holding it as if he was going to throw it into the crowd.
Well, he's been known to do some things like that over the years.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2.
Got a little drama here, huh? I used to like you. Boo!
Runner goes. Ruiz doesn't throw.
Right.
So now 2nd and 3rd. The count 2 balls and 2 strikes.
They had a base open, and they have the starter ready for Harper, but then you'd have no wiggle room. So you know they want the Freitas to get Worth out.
Back toward the middle, and it's going to sneak into center field, a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes the 2nd run, and it's now a 7-4 ball game. And Jason Worth with RBIs 30 and 31.
Big hit. Didn't hit it real hard. Hit it in a perfect spot. Made contact. Thought he had a chance maybe to get him on strikes there. Big hit for him. Pitch is supposed to be away, and watch where it is. It tails right back over the plate, and he's pulling off. If you throw it out there where it was supposed to be, you're going to get him out there. But to his credit, when it tailed back over the plate, he put it into play.
So DeFreitas is lifted from the ball game as Jason Worth gets the 2-run single. And Charlie Manuel is going to go to the bullpen and bring in Antonio Bastardo. So we've got a pitching change here at the top of the 9th inning. All of a sudden, the Nationals are back on top by 3. come on to face Bryce Harper after Jason Worth picked up a 2-run single that gave the Nationals a 3-run lead. Bastardo this year 2-5, an ERA of 4.44. So he'll face Harper, who tonight is 1 for 4. Well, Jason Worth certainly heard the boos, and a way to quiet them is to, pick up a hit, and an important one, and he did.
Huge hit for them.
Now they may get louder the next time he comes to town.
Well, I don't remember stuff here.
Quick toss over from Bastardo. Again, the bottom of the ninth inning, it'll be the pitcher spot and the top of the order for the Phillies.
Well, that inning started with a walk, and DeFreitas almost pitched his way out of it, but he just missed his spot there. The thing ran right over the middle of the plate, and Jason hit it back through the middle.
Yeah, the walk and the drop ball out in the outfield.
Yeah.
Toyota Major League scoreboard, Milwaukee has defeated Cincinnati 8-1. Aoki, who's been a good player for them this year. A home run and 2 RBIs. Milwaukee's 4.5 games out, now 4 out of the wild card.
It's a guy that just didn't hurt the Phillies at all this year. And yet, as you say, he's done a really good job. When you look at his numbers and everything, but they got him out pretty consistently.
Upstairs, 1-0 the count. Harper was expecting a fastball there. He got a slider. It's even 1-1.
The bullpen held him off the board all that time.
Yep.
Till this big spot. And that's my point about teams that are going places. They get these runs the way they just did. Philly, we saw it enough with the Phillies over the years. Find a way.
Line drive to right field. That'll be in for a base hit. Worth will go to third at least. Brown cuts it off. Worth's being waved home. Utley has the ball go off his glove. It'll wind up being an RBI for Harper. It'll make it an 8-4 ball game.
Not a good throw from Brown. Got Chase Utley way up in the air off his feet where he couldn't catch the ball cleanly.
Third RBI of the night for Harper.
All these
give him a triple.
Yep, all these runs with 2 outs. Here he is. He gets it looked like a slider that didn't do much. Now, when Dominic Brown, he gets to this nicely, cuts it off, but they're going to gamble right here because of his momentum taking him away, throwing on the run, and then it's high. Triple, you said?
Triple, an RBI. So Ryan Zimmerman now is up. He's 1 for 4. Hits the first pitch foul, and it's 0-1. Now this is a 3-run ninth inning now for Washington. All 3 of these runs charged to the line of Justin DeFreitas. The runner at third is the responsibility of Bastardo. There's Papelbon. Papelbon and Diekman, along with Almont, still out in the pen. And a call, strike 3. Zimmerman's down looking. The damage is done, though. A 2-run single by Jason Worth, an RBI triple by Bryce Harper. Middle of the 9th, the Phils' last chance, down by 4 when we come back. To the top of the 9th. Now it's a 4-run ball game. Roger Bernardina's in the ball game playing left field for the Nationals, and Drew Storen comes in to pitch. Now this is not a save situation, but Storen was warmed up, and let's face it, the Nationals want to make sure that they clinch the division. It won't happen tonight, obviously, but tonight would be a step forward toward that clinching.
Yeah, when you get a game like this, you do everything you can not to let it get away. So you use Storen.
So Storen 2-1 with a 2.49 earned run average. And he'll face Lance Nix to start it off. Nix will be up as the pinch hitter. Nix will pitch hit for Bastardo here. 4 for 21 as a pinch hitter. Joe West is asking Charlie Manuel, is this the guy you want me to put into the game? I guess he needs to be told by the manager.
Technically.
Joe West is the crew chief.
Playing by the rules.
Nix, the first pitch, a foul ball, and it's 0-1. Storen began the year on the disabled list, and for the Nationals, that was an issue because they weren't sure who they would have close. As Wheels mentioned, they used Brad Lidge. They obviously used Clippard periodically, Burnett. Then Clippard settled into that role, and when Storen came back, he was the 8th inning guy. Now, that was by design because they wanted to ease him back into action.
Guy they tried to use to work him into it. It just didn't work out. It was Rodriguez, right, we were talking about earlier.
Throws 100. Rodriguez does.
This guy's got he's got the belly for this job. Everybody's around him will tell you that he really has a good makeup. And now that he's healthy, they think he'll be all right for them.
0-2 the count to Nix. And a little high, 1-2.
You know, you can't compare him to Kimball because you can't compare. Who can you compare to Kimball? He's just so good.
Body-wise, though.
Yeah, body-wise, he's small like him and he throws hard, but he's not the same guy as Kimball. Chapman is another one who's just can be overpowering in the 9th inning the way that Kimbrel is.
And a foul tip, what away. Held on to by Suzuki.
Jimmy Rollins in a little bit of a slump. What was he, 0 for 19 at this point?
Yep.
And it started the Phillies back to the point where they got close.
Yeah, that made it 5-3. And for that home run and each one hit by the Phillies this season, one tree will be planted by the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society as part of Home Runs for Trees, a partnership between the Phillies, PHS, and Aramark. Home Runs for Trees is part of Plant 1 Million, a project to restore the region's tree coverage. Go to Phillies.com/redgoesgreen for info. Rollins takes a strike. It's 0-1. Tomorrow it'll be Tyler Cloyd on the mound for the Phillies against Gio Gonzalez. The finale of this series, the last home game of 2012. Popped him up. Ryan Zimmerman is over into foul territory for the Nationals. And the Phillies down to their final out. Don't forget, after the ball game, it's Phillies post-game live. It's presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Ricky Vitalico offers insights on tonight's ball game on Kyle Kendrick's outing. A relief pitcher, so we'll probably talk about the Phillies bullpen a little bit. Again, it's a Phillies post-game show. Phillies post-game live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. And it's coming up right after the game. Well, now Mayberry, 1 for 4.
Nationals 1 out away from 94 wins.
Yeah, they're the first DC team in 79 years to win 90 games or more.
A lot of wins still with time to go.
Inside 1-0. There's a strike. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. I don't know what Joe West is saying to Kirk Suzuki.
Having a little conversation, that's for sure.
I don't know if he thought that last pitch was a strike or what. Ground ball foul, and it's 1-2. So the Phillies down to their final out, their final strike here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Cowboys had some career, there's no doubt about it. A lot of controversy, but known him for a long time, and he can be flat out charming too.
You mentioned before his ball strikes. He's pretty good.
He's real good, and has been for a long time. You know the zone when normally you know the zone from the first of the 9th inning when Joe West is back there.
1-2 pitch coming to Mayberry, and he lays off 2-2.
And that's all players can ask for. They don't want something all of a sudden that wasn't a strike all night, called one, or a ball, vice versa, in the 9th inning when it really counts.
Ground ball left side. Big hop for Zimmerman. A little hesitation. And the Phillies go down in order here in the 9th inning. And the Washington Nationals take game 2 of this 3-game series. 8-4. The final score. Bryce Harper and Jason Worth came up with some big hits in the top of the 9th inning to help the Nationals along. Phillies had whittled the lead down to 1. Harper 3 RBIs tonight. His home run started it, and his triple basically ended it for the Washington Nationals. So he finished 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs, our Chevrolet player of the game. Davey Johnson's team now has 94 wins. As we mentioned, the Nationals get off to an early lead thanks to our WB Mason deliveries of the game.
Yeah, they never could catch up, could the Phillies, because of this barrage of homers early. A changeup, it looked like, and Harper hits it out after a leadoff walk to Jason Worth, made it 2-0. That was in the first inning. Now in the second inning, Ian Desmond leads off with this line smash off a cutter or slider into the seats in left center field, and an error followed by a bat by Suzuki, the catcher, and he crushes this thing out of the ballpark to left field. Right there, 5-0. Phillies got it back to 5-4. But then the runs in the ninth inning, 3 of them by the Nationals, put it away. Those are WB Mason deliveries of the game.
So the Nationals win it by a final of 8-4. We'll be back to Citizens Bank Park in just a moment to wrap it up.